Okay, I know that this is a video that a lot of you have been waiting for me to produce. This video is going to be on how to make a tote bag, and basically what I'm going to do is show you how to make the pattern, how to put in a gusset, and this bag here is being sewn from the inside out. I will show you how to put in the zipper, how to put in a lining, and how to put pockets inside of your bag. I would also show you how to put a pocket on the outside that with the zipper. Now, the last bag that I showed you how to do, it was sewn from the outside. See how you can see the stitches on the outside? So it was sewn from the outside. This one would be sewn from the inside. So in that way, you do not see the stitches, and it also just gives your bag a totally different look. And so first thing I'm going to do is show you how to make your pattern. I'm going to show you two different ways. There's many ways to do this, but I'm going to show you two different ways of how you can make your pattern. Making your pattern, there's two ways that I want to show you that you can go by making your pattern. One is you can find a bag that you like the shape of it, and you like, let's say you like a strap. This is a totally different concept when it comes to a strap. You like the size of it, and what you can do is that you can find bags at resale shops. You can buy very inexpensive bags, and you like the shape of it, and take it apart. Because basically what it's giving you is giving you the pattern for it. And to me, I look at the pattern as like a puzzle. You're just putting something together. And one of the things about taking a bag apart, it shows you exactly how it was put together. So when you take it apart, if you just reverse that, and when you put it back together, you will have no problem putting it together. So this is one of the ways, and this is a bag that we took, and we took it apart because we liked how it was put together, and so we're going to use this as a pattern to make this bag. This was the other side of the bag. So that's one way, is taking a bag apart. Okay, the next way I want to show you how to make a bag is that you can actually make your own pattern. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to show you how to make your own pattern, and I'm going to make it simple. Now, you can also create the shape that you want and use the same process. Because right now, I'm not trying to show you how to design. I'm just trying to show you how to understand the process of making a bag. And once you understand the process, you can design the bag to be whichever way you want it to be. For me, I am one that likes making things simple, because the more simple that I make it, the more I enjoy producing the bag. Some people like a lot of details, I mean, to each his own. But for me, I like it simple. So I'm going to show you the process of making a bag. let's say that we're going to make this bag, and it's going to be, let's say we're going to make this bag 14 inches tall. So basically what I'll do, I'll just now, because I want to make this bag 14 inches tall, I'm going to add an inch for the, matter of fact, I'm going to add 2 inches for the top of the bag, which is and the reason why I'm going to add 2 inches for the top of the bag, because I am going to fold the bag over like this. So I'm going to fold it over 2 inches, which will make it a 1 inch fold. So, and the same thing with the bottom, I'm going to, since I want it to be 14 inches, I'm going to have a 1/2 inch seam. So I'm going to add 2 inches for the top and a 1/2 inch for the bottom, which will make it 14 plus 2.5, which will make it 16 and a 1/2 inches tall. And then I'm going to make the bag I'm going to make the bag 15 inches wide, so I'm going to have a 1/2 inch seam, so I need to make it 16 inches wide. So then I will just bring this back down to 16.5. Draw my line at the bottom. Okay. Now, and just to kind of give you a visual. So what I did was that I added 2 inches at the top. So I'm going to draw a line across the top. So this is actually going to be my fold. I'm going to fold this over, and this is actually going to be the top of the bag right here. This is actually the top of the bag. This is going to be the fold. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this fold here that I'm showing you, that is actually this part here. See, this is that fold. This top line is actually this line here. So when I fold it, that's going to allow me to be able to drop in the zipper keeper. So I mean, you can also attach the zipper right to the fold of the leather, but for me, I found it much easier, and I even just like the fact that it have this drop down like this that separate the bag. But this right here, this is what you're seeing. It's this part right here. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut the pattern out. Okay, now that I have the pattern cut out, I was thinking about making the bag where it was just straight across at the top, which is like this bag here. I was thinking about just making it straight across, but I think what I'm going to do is give it a little dip in here to where it have more of a this part right here is more up, and this is going down where it have like a dip. Give it some type of shape instead of just going straight across. So I think, and the reason why I want to do that is because I think I want to use this hardware here on the side, which will go right here, which will go here on the side. And I think by having the top to where it have a dip in it, it would just give it a much better look with this hardware here for the strap. Okay, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm after, I am after more of trying to get to where the bag have a piece like this, but not so much, so as tall as this one and not as wide as this one. So, but that's what I'm going for. Is instead of just going straight across, I'm gonna give it to where the bag have more. I don't even know what you would call this right here, but to where it's taller here than it is here. So that's what I'm after by marking from the edges. I'm going to go over 2 inches. I'm going to do 2 by 2. On one side, and I'll do 2 by 2 on the other side. Now, I'm going to use just a plate, and you know, you can come up with your own way of doing this. What I'm doing is that I'm lining the plate up, this curve with this line here. This will kind of help me with my dip. And I'm just going to the center of the pattern. I'm just going to take it from the top down to the center. Now this is the center. This is where I folded. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take scissors and I'm going to cut. I fold it, I cut it. Now what they have given me, it has given me on both sides are the same. So now the bag will have this dip in it. And I think this will give it a better style and a better look for this hardware that we're going to use. Okay, now the next step I'm going to do is, I think on the front of the bag, what I'll do, I'll show you how to insert a pocket, a fabric pocket inside. And basically what I would do is, now this is the way I determine where I want my pocket. One thing I don't want to do is, I tell you what, let me get a bag to show you about the pocket as I'm explaining this. Okay, let's just take this bag for an example. What I'm ready to do is that I'm ready to cut out the window for this pocket, for the zipper. Now, what I don't want to do is that I don't want to cut my window too close to the side. So what I would do is that I would determine how far I want my zipper window to be from each side. So basically what I'm going to do is that I'm going to measure from the top down to where I want the zipper to set in. So I'm going to set the zipper down where the pocket. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half inches. So I'm going to just draw a line 6 and a half inches across. This is going to be my zipper line. Now, what I'm going to do now is I want my zipper window to be at least 2 inches from the side. So I'm going to draw me a line that's 2 inches from the side. And when I was talking about rulers, this is where a clear ruler really will work well and help you out a lot. It just kind of helps you see what you're doing. So we're going to go 2 inches. Now, this is my zipper line, and this is how far I'm going to cut that window from each side. So now, when I put my zipper in, I only want this window to be a quarter of an inch wide. So when I drop my, I want to show you now is different. Like I was saying, this zipper here, it's almost a invisible zipper, but not quite. When you close it, when you close the window, you almost do not see the zipper, but you can still see a little bit in there. And like I was saying, what I did is that I just drew a line, cut that line, and then took a punched a hole. If you can see that, there's a punch there. And same thing on this side. And basically what the hole does, by punching the hole, it keeps that line from continue to rip over time. It just takes the stress, and it just sort of take the stress back around. It doesn't allow it to keep moving that way. But the zipper I'm going to show you how to put in is more like this. See how this zipper have a window, and you can see the zipper teeth more. This is the type of zipper window I'm going to show you how to put in. And this actually become your zipper stop. Even though if your zipper is too long, you can still cut it off, and this become your zipper stopper. So this is the type of window I'm going to show you how to put in. Okay, now that we have the zipper line drawn, we're going to make the zipper window only about a quarter of an inch wide. Let me use this ruler. But we're going to do the same thing on the leather itself. But I just want to show you on the pattern how I'm coming up with what I'm doing. And we will actually like I said before, having that clear ruler really helps out with doing something like this. Okay, this is going to be the zipper window. Now I'm going to show you how to cut it out. The same way we're going to cut it out on this template is going to be the same process we're going to use to cut it out on the leather itself. Okay, now the tools we will use to cut this out, we're going to use a rotary cutter, and we're going to use the X-Acto knife. And I'll show you how I do this. So what I will do, I will take my ruler. Now we're going to cut this out as if we're using the leather itself, because it's going to be the exact same process. I'm going to line my ruler up with, I'm lining it up with this line here. We have two lines we're going to cut. We're going to cut this line, and we're going to cut this line. Now these marks are my starting point and my stopping point. And what I mean by that is, when I'm cutting this line and I'm using this rotary cutter, because this rotary cutter is round, if I try to cut all the way up to that line where I'm supposed to stop, well, what happened is I'm going to cut past that line, because this blade is round. If it was straight, it'd be a little different. But because it's round, I will cut past that line. So what I will do, I will cut up to this mark. I will cut up to this mark here, and I will start cutting at this mark here. I will start here and stop here. And so what that will do, from this mark to this line here, I'm going to use the X-Acto knife, and I'll show you that. Now the other thing is that I'm cutting to where my ruler is setting on the outside of the line. So in that way, if I make a mistake, I'm going to cut into where my zipper window is. Instead of, if I cut it, if I turn it and I cut it like this, and if I make a mistake, I'm going to cut right into my leather, into my pattern. That's not what I want to do if I make a mistake. And trust me, you can make a mistake. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to line this up. Now this is where it's very important to keep pressure on your ruler so it doesn't shift on you. So I'm going to start it at the first mark, and I'm going to stop. I started here, and I stopped here. Just I'll go back and see how I started and I stopped. Now to complete that, I would take the X-Acto knife, I'll put it right where I started, where I stopped, and I just roll the blade. And I can cut right up to that line, precise. See how it takes me right up to this line? I'm going to do the same thing on this end. Now this is the same way you would do your leather. The exact same thing. And now that I have that cut, I'm going to cut the other side. Now my pattern was like this when I cut. Now I'm turning it this way, so for the same reason that I'm cutting into the window and not away from the window. And trust me, if you are cutting this out and you cut it the wrong way and you cut into your leather, um, you would not like that. And leather is unforgiving. Now that I have this cut, what I'll do, I'll cut this, turn this around, now that I have this cut, so in order for me to cut this line across here, what I will do, I will change this blade out. And then what I will do, I will cut this here. Sometime I might have to cut this again, just to make sure. See how that this just come right out? We'll cut this. Now that's your zipper window. Now I'm going to put a zipper in there so you can see what it will look like inside of that. Okay, just to show you what it would look like by putting a zipper in there. So basically what will happen is that the zipper will go under like this. That is your zipper window, like that. And you can make this, you know, a half-inch wide if you wanted to, but the reason why I'm making this one only a quarter of an inch wide is because when we put the pocket, when we attach the pocket to the zipper, we're going to need quite a bit of this part of the zipper to sew on. And the more that you take away, the more difficult it becomes to sew. And I'll show you that when we start to sew the fabric pocket onto the zipper while we cut it a quarter of an inch window wide. Okay? Now we will cut out the leather in the same way and cut out the zipper window, and then we will install the pocket itself so you can see how that's done.